You are not stressed right now, but your body still acts as if something could happen at any moment, and almost nobody explains this. Stress does not always end when the situation ends. Sometimes it stays inside the body, even when nothing is happening outside. Your body does not understand time the way you do. It understands signals. And this is the problem. For the body, a threat does not always end when the moment ends. Sometimes something stays turned on inside, even while you keep working, even while you try to rest, even while you continue with your life as usual. The body's alarm system, your nervous system, can remain partially active, not as intense fear, not as visible anxiety, but as something quieter, a state of preparation, a body that never fully lowers its guard. Your system does not only respond to danger, it also responds to everything that keeps the body under tension. Emotional pressure, mental overload, constant noise, continuous stimulation. And over time, the body stops distinguishing what is truly a threat and what is simply intensity. Everything starts to feel urgent. Everything keeps the system in this mode, stay active. And little by little, the body stops asking, "Is this danger?" and begins to function in another way. Do not stop. This is where things become uncomfortable, because you do not only try to escape stress, you also become used to activation, to noise, to constant stimulation, to feeling like something is always happening. Fast content, intense emotions, constant scrolling, too much information at the same time. And little by little, the body begins to get confused. Activation becomes familiar, and what feels familiar starts to feel normal. Not as alert, not as an exception, but as a natural way of living, even when the body never fully rests. And this does not stay only in the mind. Over time, the body begins to carry it too. A body that never fully releases tension. A constant feeling of being on. Rest that no longer feels like real rest. A mind that remains active, even in moments of silence. And little by little, it begins to change things. The way you react, the way you respond to the world, the way you inhabit your own body, the way you relate to everyday life. Not because something is broken, but because the system spent too much time without fully leaving survival mode. And when the body stays activated for too long, sometimes the first thing it needs is not more understanding, not another explanation, not more information. It needs to interrupt the state, like turning off a switch for a moment. Pause for a few seconds. Gently press the center of your chest, or place one hand over your abdomen, and for a moment, stop preparing yourself for what comes next. Breathe. You do not need to solve everything right now. Just interrupt the state, even if only for a few seconds. In acupressure practices, this kind of contact may help the body interrupt the constant state of tension and preparation for a moment. The problem is not stress itself, it is how the body's alarm system learned to classify what it experiences. It no longer clearly distinguishes between real danger, emotional intensity, constant stimulation. Everything starts to feel the same. Everything enters the same category, and after enough time, being activated no longer feels strange. Silence starts to feel unfamiliar, stopping starts to feel uncomfortable, and the body slowly becomes used to living in constant preparation. Not because it cannot leave that state, but because it spent too much time without leaving it, and unconsciously, it keeps searching for the mode. Stay active. That is why it never fully turns off, not because it cannot, but because it no longer knows when to. Maybe the problem was never that your body could not calm down. Maybe it simply never learned what it means to stop living on guard. Thank you for being here. If this message resonated with you, join us at Signs of Calm, your space to heal your body, mind, and energy.